The production piece, I put together the track for them the night before because I know this was really last minute.
Right.
But I take all calls seriously, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, put the track together for them the night before. Show them the how I created the track. Just kind of a beat making 101, just so they can understand how it's built, right, and what the software would look like and things like that. Um, and you told me that they had already been writing, which was a good thing. Um, I didn't have to really do too much of the songwriting technique part of it. We did like one songwriting activity just to kind of shake their nervousness off, or it's a new lady, who was that, just kind of so they'll feel comfortable. And we went in the back and recorded, at least, I don't know, 2 to 4 bars of each kid on the record. We came up with the hook together and did that. Did
Mm.
that. I mean, it was cool. I enjoyed it. It was just a lot of kids. Everybody had a verse. That was
Yeah.
that was the longest song ever. But they were proud of their work, right? They were proud. They were proud,
Yeah.
and I was proud too. They did their thing. That was a
Yeah.
very good group of kids. So I
Yeah.
know you guys had a ball 6 weeks with those children.
Yeah.
They, I, the time that I spent, I really enjoyed it.
Introducing the Poet Life Podcast. Go check it out today on your favorite platforms, including iTunes, Apple Music, and the website, thepoetlife.com.
Hey, it's Christoph Jenkins, the founder and creator of The Poet Life, and obviously the host of the Poet Life podcast. And I'm super excited. Y'all seen the previous 3 episodes, and to be back today is an exciting feat, and it's a momentous occasion to have our guest on today, Miss Deanna Hawkins. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for the invite.
Sure. Yeah, most definitely. It's good to reconnect with you. We've been doing some work for I think the past year and a half to 2 years, and I think last year when we connected for the first time, uh, it was interesting to see that we had mutual colleagues,
Right.
and I was referred to you by somebody that spoke very highly of you when we were working with the school, and to know that you know you can create opportunities by the great work that you've done with other people,
Absolutely.
right? And that, I think that is so key, because who knows, we probably would not have been working together had we not known the same person, and you've done great work with that person to
Right.
have him give me your contact information, and then I call you.
Absolutely. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. It's
Definitely.
networking 101. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So the time we had this summer specifically, we worked on the Kevin Durant, the Durant family summer camp that we created for their organization, their first time ever having a summer camp. And we had the privilege and honor to create their summer camp, and to see that we've incorporated poetry, videography, photography, painting, and music was just an amazing feat. And to work with you where you are the producer and helped us produce an amazing song, tell me how you felt about that experience.
Well, kudos to you first of all, because what you pulled together was amazing. The kids had a good time. Just seeing them light up at the what do you call it, the culminating end of program, or
Yeah.
camp program. You could tell that they really enjoyed themselves with all of the activities, not just music. Um, but so I'm grateful that I got the call to assist you guys in the music portion of the camp. It because I do this. When we spoke about it, I said, okay, let's figure out how to pull it all together in whatever amount of hours we had that day.
Right.
And it worked out. Your kids, they're super smart. It helped that they still had that poetry coming into it. That they had that foundation. So The songwriting wasn't a challenge. I, kind of did my part to keep it going, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and the outcome was amazing. Just seeing their faces when they hear it back, it was good. It was good. I appreciate the opportunity. We just love to serve. We love to
Yeah,
serve.
definitely. Definitely. So, all right, tell me how you got into, creating music, but not just creating music. Yeah, no, let's start there.
Okay.
So we can kind of break down every element of it, right? When did you get into music?
Okay. So I've been playing keys since I was 9. I played the violin before that, and some other things through school. I haven't stopped playing keys. I am a professional musician. I've toured the world, different artists, since maybe 2003. I started touring different countries as a musician. After I graduated from Howard, I started dibbling and dabbling into production, producing for my friends, my rapper friends, my singer friends. I also went to Duke Ellington. So we still remain friends because they're still performing and doing their thing in their craft too. So I was kind of like the go-to. Hey, Dion, I had this performance. Can you? I'm like, okay, cool. But from there, just from networking and all that stuff, other opportunities came my way, and I took advantage of them. I wanted to learn and grow. So I taught DCPS for 5 years, just general music, and I went on the road. And I was like, man, I love the road. I still love traveling, but I wanted still to be connected with the kids when I came home. Somebody was like, hey, well, why don't you sub? Because you'll have the flexibility whether you want to go in or not, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So I started doing that just to still kind of maintain that, hey, pouring into, the children. And I got a call, I guess, about an opportunity from a nonprofit in Baltimore they got a grant that I guess some of the specifics of the grant were to expand their music programming to another region. So they said, okay, can you help us expand our music programming to DC? I was like, okay. What I loved about it is because it is the fact that they gave me the freedom to create the type of music programming that I liked, right? Or that I wanted to that I thought would be effective, or that the kids would gravitate towards, right? So still with me being on the road here and there, in and out, I realized from teaching music in schools, there was a gap between the technology piece and what you learn in your general music classes, whether it's band or choir, or just music. So I said, okay, maybe I'll teach the music production because I'm still producing, doing all these things. I'm a musician first, right? So I understand that's foundation. Like I said, I still play. I have rehearsal tonight, matter of fact, with a band for a performance on Saturday. But so I was able to create the music programming that was the base was music production, and we added songwriting in after a while, and here we are. So I helped him with that. I said, all right, well, I see how I can kind of twist and turn. I see what's working, what needs to be tweaked, and I'm gonna do it for myself because I really know how to make this effective. And so from that point on, I mean, it's been nonstop, and I'm grateful. I mean, I get calls all the time. Hey, do you have this? I mean, I have facilitators now. It's growing pretty well, but it's still it's still a small situation that's growing pretty fast. That's the best way I can put it. But so back to your question, I started when I was 9, producing, playing keys, still to this day. I don't know if you've heard Boot Up Remix. It's been out for about maybe 5 years.
That's you?
I produced that. Yeah, I did that.
Wow. So, what LMA?
Yes. Yep. Well, the artist is Sharice Jones. It's a go-go remix, but you would hear it everywhere. It's on the radio for months. That's about 500,000 views now. I mean, I get a lot of calls to do a lot of things, but BPM is my baby at the moment. This is what I'm really focusing on. I see that we're reaching a lot of kids. They're enjoying it. it's helping keep a lot of kids off the streets, and that is very, very important right now. And it's a lot. It's a lot, but I feel like it's necessary. They're learning a new skill. Anything tied to the arts is, and about that being kind of pulled out of the schools. So it's I can go on and on, but yes,
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
loving what I'm doing at the end of the day.
I love it. I love to hear that. And I am trying to encourage and pull people into doing what they love and creating the life that they want to live. Like you said, it is work. It's not all play. It's work, but at the same time, that work is what you love to do. So it doesn't feel like, stressful work. It's more so you stress, the positive stress of the work, right? So single digit age, was that your parents or was that your school that got you into it?
So I remember my first piano teacher, her name was Miss Mackenzie Freeman. I went to Ann Beers, DCPS, all through school. And she was my sixth grade teacher. Sixth grade? Yes. She wasn't my teacher at the time. I just saw that kids would go into her room before school and she would teach them piano lessons for like 30 minutes right before school started. I was like, Mom, I want to do that. And so, they got in touch with each other and I started taking piano lessons before school. So yeah, I know I was 9. That number definitely sticks out. That's not sixth grade. That's probably like what, third, fourth. But it was early on. It was early on.
Okay, gotcha. So from there, were you more so learning the instruments and learning how to read music? That was the beginning stages, yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. I wasn't playing by ear until maybe my teens.
Okay.
Playing for churches and all that stuff. My dad would say, "Hey, we don't have a piano player at Bible study. Can you come?" I'd be like, "Okay," So yeah.
You a PK?
No. He's
Okay.
a deacon, but I mean, I play on Sundays as well. So I have a busy,
yeah, I'm
a lot going on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you got some practice at church. Obviously, you practice at home, but that kind of gave you some more confidence to actually play in front of people.
Sure, I would say that.
Okay.
I mean, even with playing through high school and junior high school, I was in the band. We had performances there too. I had piano competitions that my mom would sign me up for. So I was always kind of in that realm, but church kind of felt, aligned with all of that. Yes, playing in front of people.
Yeah. Did playing music in the keys and the violin, did all of that kind of keep you focused during your teen years, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I say all the time, I wonder what I would be doing had I not had music. I say that to myself all the time. Absolutely.
Were a lot of your friends like who were not playing music or sports, what were they doing?
So at Ellington, my 10th grade year, it's an arts high school, right? So if we go to school from 8 to 5 every day, nobody has time for anything else.
Right.
So all of my friends were in the arts, and we're still close to this day. About a good 5, 6, we're tight. And they're still doing, honing their crafts, singing and performing. So, and I'm grateful because I feel like I didn't miss anything. Your friends are doing what you were doing. We're at school till 5 o'clock.
Right.
And then back up at it at school by 8 o'clock the next day.
Got it. Did your friends, it's kind of transition a little bit, did your friends learn how to sustain their art, or are they doing it however it comes?
They've learned how to sustain it. I mean, And I guess that depends on the person. Sustain
Right.
meaning, do you have a 9 to 5 and still doing this, or are you doing it to the point where it's just paying your bills, or are you, it just depends on the person and their comfort level, and what's sustainable to them. But they all are like, I have a friend that he's a musical theater. He's amazing. He's a I think he's kindergarten teacher or music teacher, but that's still what he loves to do. All the drama and all that he's doing with his children, even though he's a teacher, it's still, what he went to school. He's still incorporating that side of him. So, I guess it's subjective.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So at Howard, though,
Mhm.
what was your degree? What did you go to school for?
Music business and piano performance. Yeah.
Music business. Tell me about music business because I'm looking to get into the universities because what I've noticed is, especially with the art degrees, they teach the kids how to be awesome at the art, but not teach them how to sustain the art, the business behind the art, right? And so
Right.
when they graduate, they're amazing artists, but they're they don't have the acumen to help them do what they want to do, what they went to school for full time.
Right. Right. And that's we laugh at that. Like, you can be as talented as can be, but talent is less than 50% of what it to me of what it really takes to really,
Yes.
really, be successful. Because it's a lot of talented people. I run into talented people all the time, but they can't manage a checkbook, or
Right.
um,
Right.
you know, they don't understand how to fund their own passion, or like how to make the best use out of social media,
Right.
um, things like that. Things like
Right.
that. So,
Yeah. So that music business degree taught you that?
okay. So when I was in school, the internet was not, and social media was not the way it is now, where
Right.
um, you know, your followers equaled, numbers mattered, right? Back then, you had more of the record labels funding your projects and distribution and all that. But now with social media, you're kind of cutting all that out, and you can do it yourself, gaining your own following. Where spreading the word yourself at the end of the day. Now, yes, you need funds and all that stuff to place your things in different, but there's so many tools online now compared to when I was in school. So that no, we I had to learn that as technology changed, and as cultural things came into play, but not that was not a part of the curriculum. No, not back then. Not back then.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So not so much social media, because like you said, that was like what, 2003 or so?
What did I graduated? 2000.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So
Yeah,
social media
wasn't popping. No.
wasn't. Got it.
20, yeah, 20 some years ago. No, 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 no. I mean, you
Got it.
may have had, I don't even think Facebook
No,
was really,
no.
no.
Yeah.
It's,
Time, but it's
yeah,
like a real compact time period, is like
right,
within the last 10, 15 years, maybe,
right.
that things start really to skyrocket as far as social media. But so what element of business did the music business degree give you?
Um, so back then, I think it may have probably, I feel like if I can remember, it was probably a new discipline for Howard.
Gotcha.
Um, so we took like some business classes,
Okay.
and then they combined them with some music classes, but that's not really music business. I
Yeah.
know we had to do a couple things combining them towards the end of the degree program, but
Yeah.
um, it was more of, we learned about the copyright laws and things like
Hmm.
that, but accounting, yes, we need to know that, ledgers and debits and credits. But it's a little deeper. I had to do my due diligence to really understand royalties and a split sheet and all of that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, it's that self-discipline, self-education that
right,
really took you where you needed to be.
sure, in that field. And plus, I was already doing it. So, if I'm producing the track, I need to know what's happening afterwards, or I was doing that before I even really got to Howard. So, it's you have to learn somehow or another if you're doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That's a major key. So with that degree, did you go right into teaching, grade school?
Where did I go? Yes. Where did I go? 2000. I started teaching from 2003 to 2005 in DCPS. So I'm trying to
Okay,
figure out. Oh, I toured. I went on a tour with an independent artist.
really?
At the beginning of 2000. And then
What was your
I
role as the producer or?
keyboard player.
Yeah.
Right. So all tours that I've been on, I've been playing keys, keyboard player.
Mm,
So yes, I started teaching. Did that for 5 years, and then I went on the road with Music Soul Child. So, and that was because his shows were consistent. I couldn't. I was like, okay, I have to do one or the other. So
right.
I stayed on the road with him for maybe 3.5, almost 4 years. Um,
Wow.
hmm yeah.
Was that is touring hard?
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you do a show, take a shower, get on the tour bus, wake up in a different city, and do it all over again. I love it. I actually miss it, but but it's not hard to me. And because I've always been busy, I don't have like a huge family at home, and
Right.
worrying about the kids and all that. From the time I started playing music, that's what it's been. I haven't settled
Okay.
down. So
Okay.
yeah, it might be different for other people. You know what I mean? Like if you have a spouse or and all that happening to
Sure.
try and balance and this where we
Yeah.
have to be okay. What's my flight information? See you tomorrow. That
Right.
I can move where I want to move.
Yeah. I got to give it to Howard. Howard developed some go-getters. Is that like you know, the not the stereotype, but like the norm for Howard? Just you're especially the party planners, the musicians.
hmm
I hear, yeah, I went to Howard. I went to Howard.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So are you
Different
connected
vibe,
with?
right? We
Yeah.
walk
Uh,
different. Yeah.
I gotta give it to y'all. I give it to y'all. Are you still connected with a lot of the alum from Howard?
A few of my friends.
Okay,
Absolutely.
gotcha. Y'all partner in any way?
So yes, I have musician friends. One of my best friends, she was what did she major in? Business or something. Yes, partnering. We've worked together with different projects. Yes, but more so, hey, you doing good? Yes, you know what I mean. Things like that.
That's
We're
good.
still yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
It's time to create an unforgettable experience at your next event with the Poet Life by booking a keynote poet. Poets excite your audience with motivating messages, charismatic delivery, colorful rhythm, powerful prose, and heart-filled stories with a style of spoken word that's tailored specifically to your event. The Poet Life has keynote poets in your city of all ages and backgrounds.
Visit thepoetlife.com to learn more and book your poet today.
So let me ask you. So I'm trying to create a timeline here, right? When did you start incorporating or transforming yourself from an individual to an entity? Was that after college, or did you not know to do that until later on?
It was definitely after college.
Okay.
I started working with one of my friends, and I was a producer. She was a songwriter. We were pushing songs, traveling everywhere. She, writing for folk. And I had a website back then, business cards made. It
Mhm.
happened after college for sure, because I was
Okay.
able to focus on it. I didn't have classes. I was able to focus.
Yeah.
Mm.
What was it that you were seeing that made you say, you know what, I need to like really get professional or serious? Because I'm in these conversations. They're asking me for this, they're asking me for that, a business card, and I need to start getting these things in place. Was that kind of how it played out?
Pretty much the money that I was making with it, and understanding. Okay, let's tie up these loose ends. Let's make it a thing. Mhm.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Did you have people around you that already had their stuff in order, and then and
Yes and no. I think we were all kind of grinding at that time, unless like I met with Teddy Riley in his studio. All these things are like inspiring though.
yeah,
The folks that introduced me to them, they were grinding too. It's just who you know. But I feel like it was more of being inspired, because if you got good folks around you that are moving in the same direction, that's what kind of helps you stay motivated
yeah,
and pushing you, because you guys are focused on the same things. It may not be the same vein, right? But it's still being successful in within your craft, within your
right,
craft.
right. So how did you get connected with these names that you're calling out, right? These Teddy Rileys and Music Soul Child. What was the playing field back then?
The good Lord, I'm trying to tell you, God is awesome.
Indeed.
He orchestrates things where you have no idea what is happening. You just answer the phone, you meet people. Hey, I like what you're doing. I like what this sounds like. I think you're talented. I want you to meet my guy. That's pretty
Mhm.
much how it always happens. That's it. I like
I
I
got
like your product. I want you to just how we met.
right,
Like somebody
right,
speaking ahead of you. Hey, I know this girl that let me tie you in with such and such. But
right.
you have to be. It's your character, number one. It's your work ethic and your product. So.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. That's very important. That, like you said, the talent really is a percentage. I won't say how much, but it is a percentage. It's not 100% of what you need.
Right.
If you have that work ethic and the desire to present excellence, people will speak for you and
Mhm.
speak up for you
Right.
in rooms that you've never been in.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Right. Right. The
that's
talent. Everybody's talented.
right.
Not to cut you off, because when you were
No.
talking, like, yeah, I know a lot of talented people, but are they easy to work with? Do they learn their music? Do they come to rehearsal prepared? You know what I mean? So all of that matters. And it's funny you say that. My nephew is 12. He plays all three sports, and he's small for his age right now. He's going to grow soon. Um, his growth spurt just hasn't hit yet. He's a little shorter for his age,
Hmm.
and he realizes it now. He's in middle school. But every sport he plays, he excels. It's not because it's not because of his height, and it's his drive, it's his passion, it's his hunger.
Mm.
You know what
Mm.
I mean? So he's talented, but I think all of that other stuff kind of propels him to the front, because he got it. Like, I'm like, this is my NFL money boy. So
Right.
he's really good. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
But he's
Looking
a
at him, like,
triathlete.
yep.
Baseball, football,
Ball,
basketball.
basketball, football.
Got you.
Yep.
Wow. So he's a busy guy
Yes. Oh my goodness.
all year round.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Is he into the arts at all?
So I got him into producing during the pandemic. We created a song called "Stay Safe," and he came with
Nice.
some lyrics. But yes, I've showed him the ropes with the music production thing. He started sampling, and you never know who's watching, right? I was in the room talking to my mom, and he was in the kitchen, and he came to me. He was like, "Auntie, I want to do this with this track. All he did was ask me the BPM, the tempo. And I said, all right. So I went in and put the tempo for him. I went in my mom's room, finished talking to her, and I was like, what? He did this remix of this song that I think is super, super hot. And I was like, sir, I was like, this is really, really good. So he gets it. He understands. He understands. And I'll send it to you too. So
Yeah.
you can be like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
I would love to hear that. That's awesome. That's what I love to hear, man, because I think what people don't understand is when you ask the question to kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? That subconsciously tells them that they have to wait until they grow up
Right.
to do something.
Right.
Right. And as opposed to asking the question, what do you want to create right now?
That's right. I
Right.
created a logo for him. And it's funny you saying that. I'm trying to get him, thinking that way right now. I created a logo for him. We got some shirts made. Sometimes we wear them to the games. Hats. My dad will wear a hat when he goes to see him play football. But I'm like, this is your brand. You know what I mean? Like, so if you want folks to believe in your brand, you got to rock it. Like, hey, forget Nike. I mean, he's into the Jordans too. But I want him to understand, like, hey, start investing in yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would encourage you to encourage him to start following Deion Sanders and his sons.
Okay.
Because Deion is setting his children up for success. He has obviously 2 of his sons are on his team. Right. His daughter is at the school as well, and she plays soccer or volleyball. I can't remember. But his other son is the cinematographer that follows everybody around and captures it all. And so he's being lifted and uplifted and encouraged to do his thing, right? But the biggest thing is how they're branding themselves.
Right.
Right? So even if it's him not following Deion, but him following his sons and how they are learning how to brand themselves.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's important. Yeah. I mean,
Very.
Social media has changed the game completely.
Yeah.
More and not just music, everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it really doesn't. I don't care if you're knitting.
Right.
It doesn't matter as long as you learn how to package yourself.
That's right.
And package yourself well to it's clear what direction you're going in. Because if you're clear, you can clearly present the message and the mission that you're on.
Right.
So now he'll get it. You keep on being an example. Like you said, he's watching.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so he wouldn't have got into music like he is now or producing like he is now had he not seen you doing what you do. So all right. So after college, you're touring. What takes you to teaching?
An opportunity. Somebody said, hey, we need a music teacher. Are you available? I said, okay. So my mom's a retired French teacher. My sister's a teacher now. And kind of teaching kind of was just in the family. So I said, okay. I tried it. And the temperament and behavior was not totally, but different than it is now. So it wasn't too bad. But even for my mom, the last 31 years, I'm like, how'd you do it? But yeah, I said, okay, it's an opportunity. See if I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed music classes in school, but
yeah,
I did that. Still playing and gigging, right? Because teaching was 8:30 to 3:30, so I still had all that school to do other things.
Was it the need for consistency at that time? Yeah.
I tried it, right? So to have conferences with parents from the tour bus and all that stuff, it became too much.
Right.
It was a lot,
Gotcha.
So I had to have that conversation. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah. No, I can. Yeah. So you weren't too proud to say, you know what, I need some consistency
Right.
in this season.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
bills, right?
Yeah. This
That's
it
right.
you can't play with it, and it doesn't mean that you'll be in that position for the rest of your life. It's just in
Right.
this season, I need some consistency
Right.
while I build this.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Got you. Got you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So you did that for, you said 3 to 5 years or
Uh,
so?
2003 to 2008.
Got you.
2008, I went on the road. Mm-hmm.
Still gigging, still building the brand.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right. So was that fulfilling, the teaching?
It was. It was. Especially, I mean, at the time it was a lot. It was my first time actually teaching
Mm,
teaching. So it at the time it was fulfilling, but you kind of don't feel the effects until afterwards, where you see kids on the street that you taught, and they say, "Hey, I remember. I never forgot you." So that part, you're like, "Oh, I appreciate that." At the time, I was just doing my job. The kids learned that always, when you see them absorb what you're teaching, that warms my heart still to this day, even with production. Um, but when you really know that they retained it and they appreciate it and can you reach back and use it for something else later, or
yeah.
maybe have even turned it into their craft. I
Got
met one little boy I taught, and he's now a sax player. So yeah, I mean, I didn't teach him saxophone, but I think the effects of the music program, it intrigued him and kept him wanting more, learning,
yeah.
growing.
You were teaching the basics? Like,
Yeah,
what
music
exactly were
theory.
you teaching?
Music theory is general music. So
Got
we had programs for the holidays. I started a drum line at the school, things like that.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice. Yeah.
Hmm.
You were showing them the possibilities
There
of
you go.
music. I
Right.
like,
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, no, because it's necessary, to show them that they have options.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. People,
Yeah.
our parents left that out when we were growing up. But my mom, my dad too, but they were so supportive. Like
Yeah.
anything that I wanted to do, they said, okay, let's do it. We'll invest. I do have friends that didn't have that same
Right.
type of parenting. They weren't given options. They're just like, yeah, music, you sure that's gonna, pay your
Mm,
bills, and that's real. Because it's entertainment at the end of the day, but
yeah.
it's still therapeutic. It's still necessary. It's a part of the arts. So yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So around that time towards the end of teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go harder or deeper into the music to see if you can do it full time? How did the tapering off of the teaching play out?
Um, Music said, "Hey, we have some dates." Um, I mean, we went through because he had a girl band at first, and so I got wind of that, and they told me to come and audition. Did that, was still kind of holding on to the teaching because
Hmm.
we weren't really touring at that point. He was trying to get the right pieces from different, you know, um, parts of the states. I mean, it was girls from all over that came, but during that process, it lasted a while. So I was still able to teach and hold it together as much as
Hmm.
possible. Um, but then he said, "All right, we have some dates happening. These are the dates," and it was a tour. And I was like, "Okay, I definitely can't do much with that exactly." So um, I had the conversation and kind of let my parents know what's going on. They were happy for me. and it was new for me too. But that needed to happen though.
Yeah, those opportunities, you really, if you're really looking to take things to the next level, you can't allow those opportunities to pass you by.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I got you. All right. So this is I get excited about this part of how you've figured out how to connect the two, the teaching and the art.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean the art, like the music production and what I do, the production?
Right. Right.
Um,
When and how did you think to create your own company where you teach art, not
Right.
in the traditional sense of go getting a teaching job?
Right. So after, I guess about 2011 or 12, maybe even going into 13, um, I started subbing just to kind of stay,
Hmm.
within the teaching thing. Still producing and spot dates with other artists. Going out and then coming home. So these tours would sometimes last 30 days, 35, 40 days out.
Hmm.
When I came back, I said, man, I've learned so much from these experiences. I want to share this, even though it's music, how can I bridge this gap? Because on the road, you have a lot of the show is there's a lot of technology that goes on, but there isn't I felt like there wasn't any technology or that representation in schools, as far as the curriculum. So I wanted to it didn't happen right away, but I wanted to essentially figure out a way to bridge that gap, um, between just the general music, that we all take. Even at Duke Ellington, we didn't have a music technology offering there either. So I wanted to bridge the gap, because at this time I'm like, man, it- there's all of this software. People were starting to have their home studios, right? Buying MPCs and garage band and doing this stuff at home. Really weren't musicians, but I wanted to just bridge that gap, just between the general music and the technology. So they can I guess best of both worlds.
Okay.
Yeah, and then today with, man, social media, these platforms, these apps, all of that, they have these challenges, these dances, everything has music tied to it. And I was like, man, these kids need to really understand they can create this stuff they're influenced by. Um, and here we are. Here we are.
Yeah.
I want them to
Yeah.
understand, like
Yep.
you can do this too.
Right. Yeah. You're dancing to someone else's song or sound when you could be dancing and making your song and sound go viral.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
because I'm understanding that when they don't, and here's the key word is protect,
Mm-hmm.
right? To protect what you create, your IP, you
Right.
know, because if they don't protect it, even TikTok, I believe, from what I understand, kind of takes ownership of it if they don't take ownership of it
Right.
themselves.
Right. Right. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And that they have to know this. Like, hey, you guys, listen, this is yours. Let us show you how to protect it. Number one, like you just said, and the possibilities that can come from this. I mean, you have backgrounds in movies. You have all these things that you could use, or you can that you can that's available to you, um, from this track that you've created sitting at your laptop. You know, people don't know. I mean, it sounds like you dancing to Lil Uzi Vert and Little Baby and all this other stuff. You dancing to it and you listening to it, you know all the lyrics. But just know that this track is produced with the same software that's at your fingertips.
Wow. Wow. So is that where BPM came into play?
So, and the catalyst was when this nonprofit in Baltimore hired me to expand their music program and gave me, the free reign of, hey, the type of programming is up to you. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm saying God, he does what he does. He does what he does.
Yeah. So when you got that contract or that opportunity, were you established as BPM at the time?
Not yet. No. And I learned a lot because creating a curriculum and, even when I taught, there was a curriculum already set. It's DCPS, right? You're not going in there saying, I'm going to teach what I want. No, thank you. Right. So with this, I was able to develop the curriculum and research and do all these things. But learning all of that and the pieces and what works, what may not work, I still had red tape because I had to do what was, in line with how they needed it to be done and also this grant. I was like, all right, I'm going to develop my own because I know what's working and I know what's been effective. So,
right. Yeah. And in order to get contracts and grants, you can't do that as an individual.
Right.
Yeah. And so you miss out on opportunities without making that step and that transformation.
Right. That's right. And I'm for profit. I'm LLC. I'm not a nonprofit, but just still understanding funding out that's available and partnerships and you know what I mean, like how you're stronger together, things like that. Like that's something that I wasn't really hip to prior to. I was a musician, producer, teacher. So now you want me to be a music program coordinator. Learn something else. And I'm grateful because all of that, I need all of that. And I needed all of that to really now I'm reaching more kids. Because even with that, I have a cap that, as far as my time, but now listen, you need me during the day, we can do it. So
that's good. So with that first opportunity in Baltimore, so did you leverage that to get more opportunities by saying, hey, I'm working with this program or this school in Baltimore, as a proof of concept, to give you more of a name dropping respect?
I guess if someone asked, like you did just now, like, so how did you get into this? But no, I would say, hey, I have an after school program that I think you'll like. And I'll, show them, my video reel, my marketing and all this other stuff and pics and, all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
But where did the video reel and pics come from? From the Baltimore?
No. I mean, so I didn't have any up front. So and because it was kind of me just doing the programming, I did it in a way where it wasn't, how can I would use stock videos or stock photos and kind of show you more of pics of what programming would look like instead of actual.
Got it. You made a model of what it could be.
Right.
Gotcha.
No, we didn't do that cross. No.
Okay. Well, for me, if I'm looking to do something big or whatever, I'll go and create it. Like if I wanted to get in schools and do that on a large scale, I might connect with my warm market.
Okay.
Meaning someone that I know already in school and say, hey, listen, I want to come into your school and do a workshop with your kids.
Right.
Leverage that workshop, make sure I capture that workshop to show right? To kind of create that mock-up of what it could be at these other schools. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got you.
And some of my first clients were my friends, right? And they know my work.
Yeah.
So I was able to get, BPM's own picks and all that stuff from, early on, just because of the relationships. So
there you go.
Yeah. Because even with the nonprofit, the program would be free. So I couldn't come back and say, okay, well, I have my own, but this is how much it costs. They're gonna say we're going with the free one. So you know what I mean, like that. That really wasn't going to work. But yeah, I've built my own clientele, and we've been rolling.
Yeah. I think a lot of artists see it to be difficult because they feel like they have to go find, not knowing they already know people in schools and in churches and at universities or wherever they're trying to target. And it isn't looking at the yellow pages or Google at first. It is looking at your Rolodex on your phone to say, oh shoot, I know somebody that teaches.
Right.
And then they realize, well, then they can realize that the schools are like searching for creativity.
Right. Definitely.
And so for you to knock on their door and say, here it is, they're like, man, thank you.
Right.
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 So has it been, I wouldn't say easy, but has it been simple for you to get connected with, multiple schools and multiple programs?
Absolutely. Just because, word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be honest, my social media presence with BPM is shot, but I got to get it up, but we're still getting calls. So I know, it kind of works hand in hand, but we're booked and busy, so but I got to get it up though. You know what I mean? You got to play the game, but yeah, that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're still busy, and it's word of mouth. Especially with teachers.
Right.
Teacher always knows another teacher, right? So
yes,
if they've been at the school and gone to another school, they're still friends. Hey, we did this here, or Ms. Hawkins' program, BPM, was really, really good here, but they're at another school. They talk to their principal. Can we get this here? It's the effectiveness of the program. It's the quality of it. That bottom line, the quality.
Yeah. See, what I've noticed is the individuals who haven't made the transformation, they focus on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And getting my likes up and getting my followers up and subscribers and things of that nature. But what I found is when you go that route wholeheartedly, you spend all your time creating reels and creating great posts and things of that nature. But like the question is, who are you trying to reach that will actually make your dreams come true, if you will?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like going B to C, like the average person, they don't have a budget to pay you to do what you want to do. But if you make the transition from individual to entity and you start operating B to B, the other entities have budgets for you waiting.
Right.
And notice when I reached out to you, I wasn't looking at your social media.
Right.
I was listening to the person that you and I both know.
Exactly.
And because I trust this individual, he's saying that she's who you need to work with. I'm not tripping off no social media.
Right. Because because you do this. Because right? With the average person, like you said, they'll look and see, how many followers, but word of mouth and it's your reputation.
Yeah. Now, if you're trying to be an influencer, that's a different story.
Right.
that's not, we're a service-based business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So followers really would be the icing on the cake.
Right.
You know, if we wanted to start, you know, promoting and marketing what we're doing and things of that nature, but like to actually get the contracts.
Right. It's word of mouth. You know, it's the person that's saying, "Hey, you need to get with BPM or Poet Life," and you know, it's the person that's integrity of that person.
Because truth be told, these organizations that we're working with, they don't have a lot of followers.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
They have less than we have.
Right. And they're great organizations. They're great schools. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, like you said, unless you're an influencer, you know, that is your focus, and it is a job. Maintaining your social media is a job.
It is.
It's almost full time. You hear me?
Oh,
my goodness.
Sure.
So yeah, so our energy goes into fulfilling the contracts and serving.
There you go.
The kids.
There you go.
But I mean, we're gonna get it up. We're gonna
Now here's the social media hack is to, like we've said, focus on the service, but if we're doing a lot of work, that means we can gather and create a lot of content, because all we now need to do is document our process.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying, right? So I encourage us to invest in an inexpensive tripod, and while you're doing what you do on the keys or teaching the child, or you know, whatever you're doing as far as your service, it's a matter of putting that tripod up with the phone grip and capturing 15 to 30 seconds of you doing the work, and then you put a sound on it and create a reel and let it go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of like just streamlining this whole social media thing to where I'm not, you know, needing to spend an hour on a reel.
Right.
That hour, I can get a whole lot done in that hour.
You're right. I just posted something yesterday because I mean, I tried, and that documenting thing, I learned that back with that nonprofit in Baltimore, because you know, they need product to show investors and all that stuff. So because I was the only one kind of running the programming, my boss loved to see pictures. Hey, pictures. So this is it. You know, I understand. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like you don't understand it until you really are doing it and really understand the purpose and where it's going. That is not just that picture going to, it's going farther than you think.
Yes. Now, and here's the thing. When you do get these contracts, you can actually bake in a stipend for an intern.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. So that contract is $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. You a stipend $4,000.
Absolutely. You know I had a social media person. I had to pull her into facilitating because we had like 3 contracts going at one time. And I said, okay, so don't worry about social media. I need you over here. So yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I totally know what you mean. So no, I can appreciate that. You know, I and that's why I'm excited about, you know, how we kind of structured this podcast, is to get our guests' stories and find out how you all are doing and how you did what you did, so they can then see the possibilities of what they're doing, kind of translate from producer to poet or producer to whatever their art is, right? So what we did this past summer, I'm very proud of. You know, we had 6 weeks and we worked with, I think, 4 or 5 art forms, and each week was a separate art form. And when it came to the music, you know, I had the idea to teach the kids, well, because the first week was poetry, the written form of poetry. And then I was like, okay, all right, if we get them into poetry that first week, and they've wrote some poetry, and now they're in the mindset of being writers. The second week can be music, and then they can learn how to create beats, but also how to mesh the writing with the beats and the music to create a song.
Right.
And you were absolutely amazing. You worked magic in less than a day.
Thank you.
We had 20 kids, and all 20 kids had a verse on the song. Tell me about that whole process and how proud you were of that whole project.
So it kind of mirrored my normal programming, right? But our programming is over a course of 8 to 10 weeks, right? This was 4 hours.
Right.
So I was like, Christoph, all right, let's do it. So the production piece, I put together the track for them the night before, because I know this was really last minute.
Right.
But I take all calls seriously, as you can see, regardless. Put the track together for them the night before, show them the how I created the track, just kind of a beat making 101, just so they can understand how it's built, right? And what the software would look like and things like that. And you told me that they had already been writing, which was a good thing. I didn't have to really do too much of the songwriting technique part of it. We did like one songwriting activity just to kind of shake their nervousness off, or it's a new lady, who was that, just kind of so they'll feel comfortable. And we went in the back and recorded, at least, I don't know, 2 to 4 bars of each kid on the record. We came up with the hook together and did that. I mean, it was cool. I enjoyed it. It was just a lot of kids. Everybody had a verse. That was that was the longest song ever, but they were proud of their work, right? They were proud. And I was proud too. They did their thing. That was a very good group of kids. So I know you guys had a ball 6 weeks with those children. The time that I spent, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's so crazy. When I left to get the pizza for lunch, they were just writing their lyrics. By the time I got back from getting the pizza, you all already created the chorus. And I was like, wait,
right.
All of the kids went in there and created the chorus. So how did you break that down? You took the boys and then you took the girls?
We did. So, with that age, you have to play them. All right, boys, don't let these girls outshine you, And they were like, no, we got this. But when you told me the theme of the camp, the 4 C's, I kind of came up with, all right, how are we gonna put this together where it's not too, because the words, those are some serious words, for some 7, 8-year-olds. But we learned it, we practiced it a few times, and we took the boys back there first while the girls were still writing, and they recorded, and then all right, girls, the boys did a good job. I don't know. No, we got this. We watch this. So they came back and they recorded their verses too.
Yeah. I'm excited about that song. My daughters, I let my daughters hear the song, and my daughters think the kids at camp are superstars.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And my daughters know all the verses.
Okay. Nice.
So that's how I know
when
we put this song out, it's gonna go crazy.
Nice.
And,
I love it.
And the strategy is to get Kevin Durant to release it on his social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you talked to him about it?
Well, I talked to his mother and his aunt.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is a good possibility that happens, and so
awesome.
that'll be some major momentum right there, right?
Sure.
And then I was like, and that's what's so cool about creativity. You can keep on enhancing what you create.
Right.
Right. And I was like, shoot, we created a song the second week out of 6 weeks. Yo, we about to shoot a music video. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you? You got a facility, you got the kids, you got the song already.
Right.
And so that's what we did. Now, before we release anything, I want to reconnect with you because I need you to teach and show me how to get the song up on the distribution, whatever, DistroKid or whatever.
Right. The iTunes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they distribute it for you. Yeah.
Yes.
Digital distribution. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I want to officially do this. I don't want to just put it out on YouTube and then it goes viral and then I'm not prepared like what we've been talking about. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. You got to know cross your T's and dot your I's. That's right.
Exactly. I want to prepare first and then kind of put it out there because you're going to get the question. So where can I get the song?
Right.
You're like, I'll send you a link. Like,
Right.
Yeah. You want to be able to say, it's on iTunes and Spotify.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, and what's awesome is I just did a presentation for 5 school districts in Sacramento last week.
Nice.
A virtual presentation. And I used the draft of the music video to show them the capacity or the limitless of what we can do with their youth. They were like, oh my God, that song is amazing.
Oh, cool.
You see, so leveraging what you've done with somebody else to show what's possible with somebody else. Right. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
No, thank you. Now, same deal. When we were doing the song, I was coming up on the tail end of a contract with some schools, and the financier of that program wants to continue working, but I've always been a proponent of using one thing as a catalyst for something bigger. And so because of the song and that activity, I pitched to them. I said, okay, cool. We worked with this one school and did 6 months, one day out of the week for 6 months. But what if we maximize this opportunity and go to 4 different schools in Southeast DC, because they want to focus on Southeast DC, right? What if we went to 4 schools in Southeast, 4 middle schools in Southeast DC, and we did 4 sessions where one session we taught them how to write poetry / lyrics. Second session, we teach them how to make beats. Third session, they get in the booth and create the song. And then 4th session, we create the music video.
Okay.
Their mind was blown. Just
wow.
Yeah. So that's what you and I are going to be doing. We've already secured the 4 schools, middle schools in Southeast DC. We're actually working with, and you were talking about partnerships. We're partnering with a company / organization that already works with schools in Southeast.
Okay.
So they're kind of being our liaison to make it happen, that connection, right?
Okay.
That saves us time and work and all of that. Because they, again, already have the connection. We worked with them before. Okay. And so that's already set and done. It's just a matter of coordinating which 4 days out of the week and what the timeline looks like. So I'm excited. I'm excited to reconnect with you and work with you again.
Sure.
I think
Absolutely.
a beautiful relationship here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 4 sessions. All right. When you told me that, I said, all right. that will be that will be I even with the different schools we're doing, it's gonna be competitive. They're gonna be like, oh, what did they do? Or
Right.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
want to hear
Yeah.
theirs. That's good.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
good.
So I'll probably the first session bring on a poet to teach the lyrics or the poetry side of things, and obviously beats and the studio element will be for you, and then the fourth would be with the videographer. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, what have you got working on right now? What you working on right now?
Right now, this minute, I'm teaching film scoring and music production every
Whoa.
Monday at Project Creates, 4:30 to
Film
6.
scoring.
Putting music behind movie clips and creating your own videos and adding music behind it. Kind of understanding how music evokes emotion.
Yes.
How if you
Yeah.
saw a movie with no music or anything, that movie would be horrible and you would
Right.
see. Just
Right.
understanding how much that music does for a movie, just any film, a video, a reel, right? So
Yeah.
just that part, just another element of where your production could go, but really focusing on switching the music during this scene, or the sample that you use during this part could either mean this person's excited or upset.
Is that
So
considered sync music?
sync. I guess, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that's so important. I think that's so important because when it comes to music, we're only taught to go sell records.
Right. That's
You know what I
that's all they
mean?
wanted us to do anyway.
Right. Go sell records,
Mhm.
knowing good and well that's not where the money is.
There you go.
Go become a celebrity and be hurting for money.
Yeah,
And now you gotta go
that's
do
not where
some
the money
goofy
is for
stuff to
us.
say, right.
For the people we signed to, is money. That is,
Exactly. But the
yeah,
good and real money is in what you're teaching in the
right.
scoring of movies and sync music and
Mhm.
even elevator music
There
and
you go. All of that. Understanding what music does for the soul, for the mind, for your heart. So, film scoring. I have a. I guess this is just a regular music production. We're in the process of starting to write our group song at Girls Global Academy. That is an 8-week contract we signed, and that's on Wednesdays. So aside from that, I have some other schools and stuff I'm doing the rest of the week, but those are the main ones we just jumped into.
got you. Now you
Yeah,
said you have facilitators. That means you can be at multiple
right.
places at one time because you
Right.
have some artists that will
Yeah.
go and facilitate.
Conduct the
That's
programming for us. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
got it. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So if somebody wanted to work with you, how would they connect with you?
You can email me, or that's the best way for right now. Just email me and we can start a conversation and figure out how to make it happen.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What would you say? I'm gonna let you go in a minute because I know you got to roll. What would be your biggest accomplishment in your career as of yet?
Wow. Biggest accomplishment in my career. So it's almost two-part, because like as a musician, just being able to tour the world. I mean, it felt like free vacations. You're traveling to play a show, and then you could sightsee for the rest of the day until it's time to, take a shower and get on the bus and go to the next city. And just being able to, so that's one part. Second part would be being able to pour into the youth, kind of teaching them about how they can do the things they're influenced by, how they can create, not do the things that they're influenced by, where it's obtainable. You've heard some of the kids, their tracks that we made. Well, you were sitting there working on your laptop, and within a few 35 minutes, they have a song. So it's and they were happy, they were proud of themselves. It builds confidence, and it also gives them insight on maybe a different career path. Maybe they only thought of football or basketball, but there's other things, and it's cool. So I would say that pouring into kids and just pouring in. We just love to serve. That's the best way I could put it.
I love
Like, because even with BPM, I've been playing since I was 9. So the music thing, it's not new, but this is kind of my newer venture, and I can't wait to see where we are 3 years from now, 5 years from now. So just getting started. Yeah, just getting started.
Well, I can say this for sure. I stamp you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, indeed. Most definitely. I saw her work, and you will too very soon. We'll be dropping this song that my kids absolutely love. And they love the music video as well. And I'm excited to release it soon, but I'm also really excited to get back into the schools and create some poetry and some music with Deanna, and just be on the lookout, y'all, and y'all go follow her at BPM_enrichment and connect with her. Trust me when I tell you, her work ethic and her final product's absolutely amazing. So I appreciate you, Deanna. Thank you so much for obliging me. And it's so funny. I think everything that I connect or reach out to you for is kind of like last minute. So I apologize.
It's okay. It's all
I
right.
literally called her the night before that field trip, the summer camp, and she made it happen the next morning. So like I said, she's that one. So listen, everybody, I'm sure you got a lot of value out of this episode, enriching the lives of the youth through poetry and music, and just wanted to show the possibilities of the arts and give options for our youth and for the adults as well, because it's not too late for you, however old you are, right? So if you ever felt the reason to pick up a guitar, whatever it might be, do that, right? Life is not over. You know what I mean? Right. So maximize the time that you have, and continue to stay with us at Poet Life Podcast. You want more information as relates to what the Poet Life is doing, go to thepoetlife.com. And if you want some gear, go to poetlifegear.com and just stay in our world. All right. It's the Poet Life. It's the Poet Life Podcast. Deanna, thanks so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you again. Thank you.
Indeed. All right. Talk to you.
All right, sir.
Beautiful. All right. We are, let me end